Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, and the tarot to communicate energies to you guys. Today's reading is going to be a mushroom trip. So what does that mean? Well, I don't know exactly, but we will be asking spirit to deliver a message here for you, and a message from the universe. So yeah, take a look at these 3 mushroom cards to choose from. I'll flip them over shortly so that you can use your intuition, and whichever one you're energetically pulled towards will most likely have the message for you here today. And let's get started. So for option number 1, we have the Morel mushroom with Restore, number 12. Option number 2, we have the Reishi with Spirit Medicine, number 1. And for option number 3, we have the Turkey Tail with Block, number 4. So feel free to pause the video. I'll leave it running there so you don't get the blocks from the pause. And if you don't have enough time, you can certainly rewind and allow yourself to energetically be called to one of these cards. Or if you're pulled to multiple, you could have multiple messages here for you today. And I will see you at your mushroom trip. Hello, beautiful. Pick number 1. You picked the Morel mushroom with Restore. And we have pre-shuffled tarot cards. We're going to look at a message from Spirit here. This is called your mushroom trip. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to see, although I know you picked the card here that is hinting at something not being as it appears, or being kind of depleted on the inside, and maybe appearing one way. So I don't know if you guys have been feeling kind of not seen, or maybe putting up an exterior some way, feeling hollow on the inside. Could certainly be you're not seeing something or a situation around you that might be appearing one way, but the reality might be something else. So we might have to dig in a little deeper. Could be around health as well, having to take care of ourselves, or put in the effort into ourselves if we're feeling neglected. All right, let's take a look at what we have here for you guys. Pile number 1. We have the Hierophant, we have the King of Pentacles, and we have the 4 of Pentacles. So there's a message here for you guys, pile 1. I don't know if you guys have been feeling like how you've been going about your life, or how you've been going about stuff, or what you've been committed to or dedicated to is what you're supposed to be doing. So you're kind of doing that with an understanding that that's what you're supposed to do, and who you're supposed to be, and what you value and what you commit to, and that this is bringing you some sort of structure, stability, or something that you can really depend on to build for long term. So you're hanging on to this, but I don't feel there is a feeling of fulfillment. So Spirit is asking you to take a look at what you value. Take a look at what you're committing yourself to from a deeper level, a higher level of real understanding. Now, this could certainly be somebody around you that is not allowing you to break free from a situation or a circumstance, allowing you. Again, we can kind of be the master of our own ship, but maybe we're feeling like we are stuck to somebody because maybe they seem like they mean well, or they want to work with us, or we're open to working together, or have worked together, or have built something together for the long term, but we're now feeling like we want something more, or to go on our own way, or to, yeah, plant something elsewhere, be abundant elsewhere. I feel there is an unfulfillment here. Either way, you're kind of falling into. If you are resonating with being around somebody, they might seem very oblivious to your desire for more abundance. Maybe you're not interested in the same things as maybe you once were, or maybe this person just seems one way and you feel like your mindset is elsewhere. So there is a truth that there is abundance to be had, but I think abundance and wealth means different things to different people. And you could very well, in either case, be living someone else's story of what abundance is. So there is a need to strip all the real world stuff that we've been dealing with that might be covering up our true being of what we want for ourselves. And really ask ourselves, and if this takes weeks, then Spirit is suggesting here to put aside at least 10 minutes to sit in solitude to really review. If we feel confident in where we're spending our time, if we feel confident that the values we're carrying are indeed our own, and that how we're engaged in a day in, day out life is bringing us that fulfillment inside. And if it is, then do we feel any sort of incompleteness at all? And that it is not the goal of one to say it is almost okay, or that it is okay for the most part, because there is a completeness and a wholeness that comes when we live in our own high truth of what we believe to be closer aligned to our being. And if we're tied to someone else, or if we want to engage with someone else because that's been our story, or we feel obligated to, or we've already invested a lot of time, we might be conflicted, and we might be telling stories to ourselves, or feeling bad about acting in any other different way. But Spirit is saying that now is the time for you to take the power in your hands to start something for yourself that will bring fulfillment to you, even if it's in your current situation or circumstance, as a starter, because this will take a life of its own, but it has to be something solely for you that speaks to you. And if you start off small, that's absolutely fine, because this will build and take time to build. And Spirit is saying to question everything, even if it's even if the first go over you say it is something that you are okay with or you value. Because if you take it apart, you can always go back to it if it's meant to be. If you disengage or disconnect for a bit, sometimes the truth comes out more, or you could see a situation morph differently when you detach or remove yourself for a bit. Because Spirit is saying, if there is fear of removing yourself, for maybe you realize that this is something you value or something you want to commit to or you want to engage with, then the answer here is to detach, remove, spend some time away, and then this will come back to you stronger, but now more in line. And you'll see things differently too. And I feel this will also give you the power to move, not feel immobilized. It's like empowerment. If you must go forward, you're able to confidently. and put stuff behind you more easily that should die out or is no longer serving you. And this will boost you up towards what does work. But there's quite the process here. And maybe you just needed to know that it is okay to do this bit by bit. You don't have to know the answer right away. You don't have to pull from a situation completely in one sort of answer. There's guidance here in taking the time bit by bit to really review here openly and honestly and detach periodically, with an understanding that it could be periodically or for a period of time, for a period of time, and that you'll see something differently. And then if you want to decide at that point that you do not want to continue or return or engage, you're going to see something a lot more clear, and that you are guided here by your guardian angels, loved ones that have passed, and definitely here by spirit. And there's a fire here that I feel this might have gone out, or maybe that you will start to feel again, that will help you, to push you, to guide you. So pile 1, let's take a look at your message from the universe. From, could be a loved one, could be the universe. You'll know where this is coming from. After all, this is your trip. So you got 2 messages, pile 1. We have birds are messengers we use to connect with you. So universe, or whoever this message is from, is saying when you see a bird, there's messages there for you from this person. So it could be when you are sitting, deciding to do so in outside, and you might want to go where there are a lot of birds. This might give you some clarity. I'm also hearing maybe you can find some bird audio or something. Maybe there's something about the sound of birds that allows you to go to some realm that's able to help you to come up with more clarity. I'm also feeling from this that you might be looking at a decision, a major decision here, like should I stay or go, or should I release or follow this, or something like that, that you're kind of contemplating. And I feel like you're going to get the answer here from maybe sitting with the birds or coming to you. And birds could also represent siblings and other people. So this could be in a figurative way. If we communicate with people we trust, maybe you have a sibling you trust as well that you're able to connect with. But I do feel like there's more clarity coming for you. And then we have, we rejoice when you find love. Love comes in unexpected ways. So universe is telling you that when you find love and feel love, and that love is all around you in unexpected ways, your vibration is raised and they rejoice. So I think there is an opportunity for you to be completely fulfilled, completely loved, completely find what it is that you want. And the reason we're not seeing it is maybe because we're seeing something in a fixed, more stuck way, or have been engaged in an environment or situation, circumstance that has been the way it's been. So we don't see the alternate ways that we could be loved or where we could find love. And now we're seeing more animals here. This is a cat's paw, I think, a cat. So maybe you have a cat here as confirmation. Maybe you want to sit with your pet, or I don't know if you want to be in the present moment in order for you to see the love your pets are offering you, to open up an energetic sort of field around you that allows love to enter. We have the number 24, which is also ironically the number 6, and that is the Lovers in the tarot, which is about the choice. So you might definitely be sitting on a decision you're having to make here, and it could be around love or where to invest your love or to get more love for yourself, more fulfillment for yourself. I do feel like you are able to see things more clearly if we just slow down, but things aren't as they appear. All right, pile number 1, this is your message. I hope this resonated, and I will see you soon. Hello, my beautiful, gorgeous pile number 2. You picked the Reishi Spirit Medicine Mushroom. Card number 1, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So very spiritual group I'm feeling here, and you are working with your spirit. And I really feel like it's been a challenge. I feel like you could certainly be quite exhausted and maybe even stressed about things, maybe in your mind. Maybe you've been looking for some balance. Maybe you've been looking to get closer to your higher self or connect with spirit in a more deep way. So you guys could be going through a grand spiritual awakening, an ascension, and just trying to get really close to self in some way. And maybe the physical body has been limiting or has been very heavy, or your situation here on earth, your circumstances, your daily events where you are might be kind of heavy. So it's how do you balance your mind, body, and your spirit? So I think at this time, for those of you guys who know which part of yourself is maybe suffering the most or needing the most attention, because I do feel like for some of you guys, the body is physically not able to keep up so much because maybe we haven't been eating as healthy or sleeping as good, or in stressful situations that our body feels very sluggish. So Spirit is asking you to take note of what you're ingesting. Take note. You could certainly want to allow yourself to take some spiritual medicine that allows you to relax, to unwind, so that your body can be prepared for your spiritual trip, for this journey that you are on. Because if you are feeling exhausted, sleep when you want to sleep. Cut out any sort of sugars or caffeine or anything that you find is maybe your thing that isn't helping and you know it's not helping, and only focus on maybe detaching from that. If you're not sleeping well, take note of what you're doing right before you go to sleep. Is it something electronic that doesn't allow the mind to rest? Something here about having to find that balance. And for some of you guys, it could just be mind. You know, if the mind is on overdrive because we're stuck in ruminating thoughts, repetitive anxiety, then how do we detach from our thoughts and connect to a heart space? And repeat mantras that might help us. You know, so sometimes we just have to allow the mind to be released and feel in our heart space, and maybe repeat the same thing that allows us to be okay with letting go of the thoughts, because we can't do anything by repeating a thought in our mind. So sometimes it's just what will be, will be. What will be, will be, and continuously noting that when we start getting in our thoughts that we are just getting in thoughts. So what will be regardless, and to allow ourselves to release that. And I feel like we could build situations in our mind bigger than what they are. So if we feel we're doing that, we might have to go back to what the actual physical case of the situation is and leave it at that and not get lost in our mind. Now, for those of you guys connecting with spirit, it might be, what does spirit want for me? What am I supposed to be doing? What is my purpose? Why have I gone through everything I've gone through here spiritually, and I might still feel lost or empty, or like there's something coming, but I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing or how I'm supposed to be navigating here in a spiritual way. So there's a lot of questions, and you might feel, some of you guys might feel abandoned by spirit, or like you're kind of trudging through this on your own. So Spirit wants you to know that this is part of the journey, and that you finding and navigating through allows you to find what is truly for you, that it is not dictated by Spirit or anyone else for that matter. It is something you come into, a truth and awareness you come into, an alignment you're only able to come into. And when you do, it is the highest version of yourself. That means you can overcome really any sort of set of challenges. There's also a huge message coming in, and this could be for all of you guys. Trust your intuition, okay? Trust your intuition. You are seeing signs, you're seeing synchronicities, dreams, you're second guessing, you might be not knowing if the message was for you or what it meant. Trust it. Just trust it. Go with what you're feeling and what you're being shown. This is the universe really guiding you. And sometimes we hear that loud, could be your mind or voice inside us screaming. That's our fear, that's our anxiety, that's our stress. It's loud. We feel like we have to do something. It makes us feel anxious. And right behind that is the quiet voice. Very subtle, but we have to just kind of calm ourselves to hear that subtle voice. That's your intuition. And it might have been there constantly in the background. Very quiet, very safe. And this intuition is telling you something that maybe you're supposed to be doing. You know, sometimes, like when I get these downloads, I'll hear Spirit in a very subtle way. It'll just come in as a subtlety of, this is the reading I must be doing, or something that comes, and I don't hesitate, I don't question, I don't ask why or try to figure out, right? So if you wake up all of a sudden and get the urge to, I don't know, whatever it might be, or you see something that reminds you of driving out somewhere, get in your car, drive there, do whatever it is that you're intuitively called to do at this time, because you will put yourself back on the path. And when you are seeing all these signs and synchronicities and you respond to them, you get more, and you're in flow and you're on the path. When you're in stress, when you start to question, when you're not sure and you're in indecision, this is where you deviate from your higher self. You're deviating from what you already know. So it feels uncomfortable. It feels like stress. So lots coming through. Pile number 1 with your card. We got 3 tarot cards. Let's take a look at what is this mushroom trip about? What does Spirit want to communicate? And then we will take a look at a message here from the universe or from someone, anyone out there. Could be a past one, just a message you're needing to hear. So let's see. We have the 8 of Cups. We have the 7 of Wands. And we have the Star. Well, pile 2. I don't know if I called you 1. Pile 2. Interesting. These are both the scenes, or yeah, the scenes from the 8 of Pentacles and the scene from the 7 of Pentacles, which is all about work. Now, if you aren't focused on career right now, which is for some of you guys, this is about work and where you're investing your time for work. It could be where you're investing your practical time. Might seem very draining, like you're giving of yourself. You're trying to make something of yourself. You're trying to build something here and it hasn't been producing. So maybe that's why you're feeling tired, maybe emotionally, mentally, physically exhausted. Lots of time working, lots of time trying to make something right, and not really gaining from this what you want. The Star card is so positive here, because I feel Spirit 1 is saying what you desire, what you wish, what you hope for, what you're working towards is coming in for you. Pile number 2. This is our wishes fulfilled. This is getting our dreams and our desire here. And I do feel like it is something that might feel far away for you because of how much time you might have spent not seeing the results of something that maybe you've been dedicated to for quite some time. And we've had a lot of things go wrong along the way, things that didn't work out quite as we expected, that can't be repaired potentially. So we're not sure if we should continue. But the Seven of Wands in the tarot is about you being on higher ground, you having the advantage to really stand your ground and go after what it is you're wanting, which is this beautiful desire, this beautiful dream, long-term wishes and goals for the future for yourself. And you're so much closer than you think, because I feel like you've put in so many attempts, and a lot of these different attempts might have resulted in different sort of things, and you might feel as though they weren't fruitful or didn't benefit you, but Spirit is saying actually all of those attempts resulted in some lesson that is exactly what you're supposed to be learning and doing to put you exactly where you're supposed to be so that you can get it right. Because I feel like every attempt has been a lesson, a circumstance that you've had to learn to deal with, that has been a building block in order for you to be able to get closer to that star. Although it might seem stagnant or like it's not resulting in anything, it's actually building blocks, getting you closer to your wish, your desire. So maybe you feel mentally drained from considering whether you should or you shouldn't. Spirit is saying you should certainly keep your hope towards attaining what this is in check, because I feel like at one point you knew you were going to attain this, and it might seem a lot longer here because you might be seeing something as you haven't gained anything from your experience or your efforts, but you have. Every attempt has resulted in an experience that has brought you closer, and you might feel physically like you don't have it in you to fight. And so Spirit is saying, if you have to sit down, if you have to rest, if you have to take your time, your hope, your desire, your wish will still come. It comes at your own pace. There is no need to push yourself beyond your physical capability. That even if you sit down, rest, and again, take note of what you're ingesting, and that goes for, media and everything else that your environment bringing in may take a toll on you. So if you are aware of only surrounding yourself in a way that allows your physical body to rest, that this isn't really going to change the length of time it's going to take you to get there. In fact, I think it's going to roll out the way it's going to roll out, but you don't need to stress yourself out. You don't need to push yourself beyond a limit. You can sit down and still achieve what you want. And I'm also getting a message. Some of you guys might be considering settling for something close, but not what you want. Kind of like second best, or might as well settle because what I wanted didn't come. And Spirit is saying no, because that's not going to make you happy. You don't need to settle. You don't have to. Some of you guys are stuck with the settling piece I'm getting, or you've been sort of, sitting with the second best or entertaining the second best. Don't do that, because you can attain exactly what you want. There's no need to settle, because eventually I think this is going to make you miserable. All right? And don't see it as if I go for my gold or something greater, that it's going to be so difficult that you won't have it in you, because again, you're on the higher ground. You can achieve this, and don't look at it as things that might have been lost. Look at it as you've had all these experiences, as things you've gained in order for you to receive. Pile number 2, let's take a look at your message from the universe, or it could be a loved one. You'll know what this message is coming from, but let's see what Spirit wants to communicate to you. It says, problems that have held you back are being cleared. We are monitoring it. Number 31, or the number 4 for stability. Fourth house is all about home and roots and family, self-care, emotions, foundations, children, women, femininity. So pile number 2, I feel like there's a need to really take care of yourself and know that if you are being held back in any way or settling or holding yourself back, it could be coming from the inside of yourself. And know that your dreams, your wish, your desire here for what you want for yourself for the long term is a possibility. Spirit is saying that here in this message to you. All right. And it doesn't have to just be a wish or a hope of a distant thing that doesn't come. I feel this is something that is yours to attain, that you've already had so many different attempts towards this that you're very close. You're closer than you think. All right, beautiful pile number 2. I hope this helped you. I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous pile number 3. You picked the turkey tail with block number 4. So pile number 3, this is your mushroom trip. This is message from Spirit. We'll get a message from the universe as well. But what I'm feeling here is there's a lot of blocks, isn't there? I just feel like you feel maybe stuck in some way, or that there's energy blocked. And this could be from many things. I'm feeling maybe, I don't know, for some of you guys, it could definitely be a lack of confidence here in an area. Okay, and maybe it could be that you're a fairly confident person all around, and maybe there's just an area of your life or a situation that has you stuck or unable to do something here, and you feel restricted in some way. So this card does talk about how when there is some debris or some stuck energy or something that is stuck, instead of removing the stuck piece or dealing with the stuck piece, we're supposed to build on the areas that allow there to be more of the positivity. So for example, if we feel, you know, like we are lacking confidence in an area, instead of trying to find out maybe what it is and how it got there and why it is and deal with it in that way, we just focus on our own confidence. So we do things day in, day out that build our confidence. This is an example, to the point where then that overrides that energy and it pushes that energy through, so that that stuckness gets released. Okay, so however this is stuck, now let's say if this is a physical situation which you feel held back or stuck energetically, Spirit is saying it's actually something within you that is clogged in some way, or there's some debris or some energy that needs to flow again, which is making you stuck in the physical. Okay, so we connect it back, and instead of trying to fix what that is, we just need to understand we have a block in some way, because it could be that we're that detached from where within us we feel the block that is making us feel blocked in the physical. I hope that makes sense and you're following. So once you know what that is, then we build ourselves up in that area. So let's say we're blocked in love or expressing love. Okay, so we feel we're in a situation that makes us feel like it might be stuck, maybe with a partnership, or we're unable to feel love or communicate love, or whatever your situation is. Then it's like, how do we love ourselves? How do we pour so much love into us? And it might be awkward at first. It might take some time for us to repeat something here. But once we're able to fill ourselves up to the point, it then flushes out the pieces that are debris, that are keeping the energy stuck. So we might have to allow ourselves to receive love, no matter how maybe we feel disconnected. bit by bit by bit until it builds to something. And if this means releasing love, maybe we have a block in allowing ourselves to release this, then we try to do it bit by bit and putting ourselves outside of our comfort zone instead of trying to find out why we might feel unloved or where it stemmed from or why this is, because it might be overwhelming to try to solve and figure out. And sometimes we need those answers, and if that's what we do, then that's fine. But I do feel like there's something here about building on the energy that will help push out these blocks, whatever the block is for you guys. All right, so let's take a look at what is your mushroom trick pile number 3. So we have the 7 of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Swords, and we have the Page of Cups. Yeah, well, this is the scene from the 7 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords, you know, is about maybe even trying to do things alone or keeping things close to our chest, not allowing people in, you know, trying to pull something off or do something on our own. But it's also could be the deceptive card, like we're deceiving ourselves in some way, or we're self-sabotaging ourselves in some way, and we might think that we're helping ourselves, but we're not. We might be making things worse by how we're handling it. So I feel like maybe there's a block in allowing ourselves to be honest about something, or even be visible about how we're handling something or want to handle something. I feel you're hanging on to things too here that you're not wanting to share so much. Maybe you believe it to be your problem or your thing to deal with, but I feel like this is what's causing challenge. And I feel this is the thing that needs healing. We have the Page of Cups, which is depicted by this Temperance. And the Temperance is all about healing and bringing balance and taking, well, essentially lead and turning it into gold. So shitty situations, blocks, whatever it is, and alchemizing that in order to make something beautiful for ourselves that we can work with. So I think instead of, again, removing the block, maybe it's like, how are we engaging? How are we continuing to work with this and to change it up? And look, one cup's broken, one cup is fixed. So we could certainly have a piece of us that feels broken or feels not right, but we use it for our advantage so that we can make it right. So we can work with the gold cup because it's still working, it's still functioning. I think maybe you feel like a piece of it is broken or detached, so you're hiding it or not wanting to make it visible in some way to others. And this is saying, face this head on. This is very much the card of the warrior that faces challenges head on and isn't afraid to face challenge and win victory here at no mercy. I don't know what scene this depicts, but I mean, this is a skeleton, which could very well signify the death card. So there might be parts of you that feels like it's come to an end, or like that's the block, is like, how do I move from things that no longer serve me? And I'm getting the same energy I got from this, which is use that energy to move. This is a quick energy. Use that dead energy, so to speak, that broken energy, that blocked energy, to move, to power you to move towards what you want. I don't know if that's easier said than done, because I don't know how broken or dead that energy is to work with. But what I'm seeing here is that this guy's got closed eyes, that you're maybe telling yourself, if it's broken in that way, that it doesn't work, or that you don't see it in some way, or that you're unable to. I think there is a lie here to self, you guys, okay? And the lie to self is keeping you in a block state, or telling yourself that you cannot work with this block, that you can't move forward with this block, or that whatever you're supposed to achieve here is unachievable because of some set of circumstances or situation that has gone on or is going on. And so you're kind of tiptoeing around it, not addressing it, in denial about it, not wanting to see it, maybe not wanting to address it. Face it head on, no mercy, and work with it. It's not the enemy, because I do feel like there's something here that you can attain, and I feel this is healing, and this will transform whatever situation physically you're dealing with here for the better, to the gold, which I feel like is optimal here. And I do feel like you are being guided and protected here, so I don't feel like your worst thing is going to happen. I feel like what Spirit is saying is pieces of value is falling away the longer we stay in that energy. So it could be in your physical situation. You could be losing things of value if we maintain closed eyes, if we maintain in a self-sabotagey way, in a way that doesn't want to see or not allow things in, trying to keep things low key, or that they will resolve in some way. And I feel we're losing things of value. And we lose things of value within ourselves that then requires more time, more blockage. It starts to kind of build. The debris builds and builds over time, which makes the flow even worse. So I don't think there's a lot of debris here that can't be resolved by working with it. No mercy, quick action, being able to face whatever this is in order for us to heal. And I wish I could give you more in regards to how, because I think that's different for all of you guys, but I really feel like it starts with not trying to get away with doing it on our own, or not being honest, or not seeing it about ourselves, or if we recognize pieces of what we want or we're trying to build is falling away due to our own behavior, if we're losing out on things of value or that we know we hold valuable, then we know it's because of something that we need to address within ourselves. And that's the first step here. So if you're connecting with that, Spirit is saying, have you lost something of value? Have you, and are you telling yourself it doesn't matter? And you're continuing onwards, but as you go on, you start losing more and more due to this block. I don't know if this is resonating for you guys. Pile number 3, I do want to keep these messages fairly positive, and I do feel it is positive because this is saying you have stuff here that you can work with, that you can make gold, that you can heal from this. And there might be something here of an apology, okay? I'm seeing the 7 of Swords depicted here with the Page of Cups, which is all about an apology. Maybe we said some mean things or done some mean things, or we're cold-hearted in some way. And we might just be not wanting to apologize, or not wanting to see a situation in which maybe we were in the wrong in some way, which might help free up some debris here, or at least allow the energy to flow, like I said, greater than the plug. So let's ask the universe here for the message for you. Now, this is a message from the universe, or from a past loved one, or whatever you want to take this as a message from Spirit, whatever you want. Let's see. We have fun, and you too must enjoy yourself. That's this card, okay? So, I don't think you're having fun. I think there is something you want, and you want to attain it in the best possible way, in the up and up type way. And I think you will enjoy it. And I think it's difficult to enjoy things when we attain something, maybe out of a place of I don't know, like not the right way, or maybe we can't enjoy something here because we're stuck in some block. So there's a need to have fun. And this sounds to me like it could be people in your life that have passed away that are saying they're having fun there, and you should have fun too. Enjoy yourself. Look, we have the number 8, which is the strength card in the tarot, and the strength card is all about going within, facing fears, looking at ourselves, being honest with ourselves in order so we can move forward, know how to guide ourselves, when to hold back, when to move forward, use our willpower, and engage in a confident way, but out of courage. I do feel called to pull one more here for you guys. We're helping to bring a little luck your way. You deserve it. With the bear, 5 is a challenging number because it's all about change and things, you know, being up in the air. Could be a lot of conflict. But Spirit is saying that you are getting, or I guess Spirit or the universe or wherever you're getting these messages, is that there is luck coming your way. And I do feel like you deserve it because I feel like you've been in a challenging situation here. Maybe a brown bear is important to you guys. You know, a brown bear is a symbol of protection, and I do feel like you are highly protected here, but I also feel like you're pretty solid individual here. The bear is all about power, but the bear is also means cunning in some way, which again is giving me 7 of Swords. So are we cunning ourselves, right? And if we allow ourselves to not, I think luck will come your way. I really believe luck will come your way. 5 is the 5th house, is all about romance, love, affairs, creativity, fertility, spirit, joy, self-expression, and drama. So self-expression, I feel there's something here about self-expression that you're needing a little courage. Okay, I do feel this is around self-expression, to be honest. Maybe again an apology. This is also about communication. This is about confronting something here. We might have not have been wanting to confront something, maybe within ourselves, maybe within another. But as we pretend it doesn't exist, we start to drop things of value, and it could be things of value for us, parts of ourselves. Okay, so we don't want to betray ourselves. We want to remain integral to ourselves and work with our blocks. All right, pile number 3. I hope this message helped you. I love you guys very, very, very much. And I wish you guys the very best. I will see you soon. Bye.